Hey, Stewart's Chapel. This is Brother Don Pierson and Don Counts, and this is Tuesday's devotion. There's only two more that I feel led to lead in devotions today and tomorrow's in relationship to what it will look like, at least what I believe God is saying to me, what it will look like for me to walk worthy of my calling in following Jesus in such a way that is worthy of His name and in a way that glorifies Him. I'm over in Joshua chapter 1. I'm going to read verses 1 through 7. A scripture that caught my attention, my goodness, probably back when I was 18 or 19 years of age. That's 40 some years ago, my friend. It says, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spoke to Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' assistant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, to the land which I am giving to them, the children of Israel. Now every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given to you. As I said to Moses, from the wilderness and this Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and to the great sea, towards the going down of the sun, shall be your territory. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. Be strong and good courage. For this people you shall divide as an inheritance the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, that you may observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left hand, that you may prosper wherever you go. Now, the people at Stewart's Chapel, they've heard me say this over and over again. There are some things that, if you understand how the Old English was, there are some things you can only do with the King James translation that you can't do with others. One of those is the fact that in the Old English, in the King James, wise, that is ye, you, or your, are always plural. Because you see, in the Old English, when we're talking to an individual, just one person, they switched to a T. They would go thee, thou, or thine. And T's are singular in that sense. Thee, thou, or thine. Y's are plural. When you start reading this about how God is speaking to Joshua, and when he says that every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I have given you, you would be expecting a T. Thee, thou, or thine. In other words, when you're reading it, you're thinking that God is saying to Moses, Joshua, every place that you, Joshua, place your foot, it will be yours. But that's not what it says. It's not a T. It's a Y. And in the Hebrew, it's plural as well. It's not singular. So God is speaking to Joshua as the leader, and he's not talking just about Joshua. He says, Joshua, every place that my people, all of my people, every place that my people place their feet, I'll give to them, to all of them. It's a corporate understanding. I was intrigued how the Old West was divided up. They didn't do this everywhere, but in many places there would be this call that would go throughout the United States and literally went around the world, that land of the West would be distributed. And there was a gathering place marked out. And people would gather with their horses or wagons. Some had no horses or wagons. It was on foot. And they were given these flags, these markers. And then the sound would go, and they were to run in every directions, and every place they set a flag was the boundaries of their land. And so these masses of people would gather, and they would go out like in spokes of a wagon, just running or riding their horses or on their wagon as fast as they could, and they would stop and put a flag down, and they do another one, and like that, and that's how they got the mass. And of course, the farther you could run, the better the horse, the greater the territory. God is saying to Joshua, you don't have to be in a hurry. You don't have to run. But I am giving you marching orders. And you need to let the people know that every place where their whole feet sets is going to be theirs. And then now he looks at Joshua as their leader and says, but you, Joshua, you have only one assignment. Be strong and very courageous. Be strong and very courageous. You know, I've told you that walking worthy is not only an individual calling, it's a shared. It's not just a walk or stroll in the park for me. It's a march, a corporate march as we as the body go forward. In this context, there's two things I want to leave with you. God has defeated the enemy through Christ. There is no need for the enemy to take back any territory in us. I must, in us or in you or me, I must be strong, courageous. I must keep going forward, not allowing the enemy to have any territory. Every time he pushes me back 2, I need to move forward 3. If he pushes me back 5, I need to go forward 8. I need to be going first, going in the direction of following Christ no matter what. No matter what happens around me, I've got to be strong and courageous. Do you understand by him commanding him to do that God is calling for Joshua to be intentional? You're going to have to be intentional in the days ahead. Don't let the enemy take back anything that God has already conquered in you or around you. Don't let him take back anything from your brothers and sisters that march with you. I'll do my very best at Stewart's Chapel to lead in a way that is strong and courageous. I don't want the enemy to get even a toe in anywhere, in anybody, in me or in you. Love you, Stewart's Chapel.